Have you ever wondered what the secret is to great public speaking? You know, I've been researching some of the most popular TED Talks of our time lately, and I've compiled a list of 4 things that the best speakers all do to captivate and inspire their audiences. And these things are available to anyone, anytime, absolutely free. With a little time and patience, you can implement them into every speech that you ever give. You want to know what they are? Stay tuned. Q&A Tuesday, all your voice questions answered. Hi, I'm 𝒔𝒆𝒗𝒆, founder of the Voice of Confidence Public Speaker Training Program. I help people all over the world find their own voice of confidence so they can share their message with a greater audience and help make this world a better place. Today, it's all about helping you become a better public speaker, so let's dive in. When you're invited to speak or present at an event, it's usually because you've done something, seen something, or accomplished something that others need to hear. That's the main reason why we're invited to speak. However, there are many people that speak with the wrong mindset and intention. That is, that they speak with a taking mentality. They speak or perform because their ego needs to be heard. Perhaps they want a standing ovation, or they want you to buy something, or they want you to follow them. When they speak, it's obvious they're making it all about them. But when you watch the most popular TED Talk speakers like Amy Cuddy or Brené Brown, Simon Sinek, Oprah, Tony Robbins, they all show up to give. They show up to serve. They show up to help others improve their lives. They don't make it about them. Tip number 2, authenticity engages. So many people have an innate fear of public speaking, but right now it's such a fundamental skill that most people really need to learn. Public speaking and being confident on camera is so important and applicable across pretty much every industry. Now, one of the most important principles to follow is to be authentic. When I first started performing years ago, I was so nervous and lacking in confidence that I tried really hard to be someone I thought would be more acceptable to my audience. As a rock singer years ago, I would jump around all over the stage trying to look tough and powerful with a "don't mess with me" attitude. But I learned pretty fast that it wasn't me. It didn't feel right. I was actually secretly a pussycat, not a tiger. I learned over time that when I allowed myself to just relax and be me, I had so much more fun performing and the audience enjoyed it too. Becoming your best authentic self, stepping into the best version of you, is the best way to become a great speaker or presenter. So speak from your heart and the audience will feel it. Tip number 3, audience awareness. When you get on that stage or on that camera, you need to be very aware of what type of audience you have in front of you. Years ago, when I was singing at a jazz club in America, I got on stage worrying that since I wasn't technically a jazz singer, it would perhaps be a really tough crowd to please. So I got up on that stage and really started focusing on singing the best that I could. But then straight after the first song, the pianist and I started this friendly, silly banter backwards and forwards, and then members of the audience started to chime in as well. Suddenly, the whole room turned into this fun party vibe that I would never have imagined in a serious jazz club. Then I realized that, the audience only had truly one goal, and that was to have a good time. Then I was able to relax, add humor to my songs, change my words around, have more fun. The gig then went so well that night that they gave me a regular spot every weekend for the next year, simply because I could go with the flow. They knew that whatever the audience threw at me, I could be flexible and malleable. See, things don't always go as planned, especially not in speaking and singing gigs. But if you have complete confidence in yourself and your abilities, you'll always be able to land on your feet no matter what happens at the gig. Tip number 4, be bold. To be unapologetically yourself in front of an audience requires boldness and audacity. When you can bring the best of yourself to any audience, it inspires other people to do the same. You can't go out there fearful of what other people will say or think. You have no control over that, and what they think of you is actually none of your business. So play 100% full out, don't hold back. Don't half give a presentation. You have to bring all of your energy, your focus, your passion to every speaking engagement. One of the best ways to do that is to weave a personal story into your talk. The top 85% of all TED Talks are story-centric. It's the most powerful thing you can do. Paint a clear picture in the minds of your listener. The rule of thumb is this: never tell a story without making a point, and never make a point without telling a story. This is true across every industry. Stories help people process information and keep your audience much more engaged. Now let's do a quick recap. Tip number 1, be a giver, not a taker. Tip number 2, be authentic. Tip number 3, be audience aware. And tip number 4, be bold. I'd love to see your comments below to see how these tips have worked for you in your next presentation. I'm 𝒔𝒆𝒗𝒆. I'll see you next time.